Alright, hosting. You should be able to join shortly.
Okay, I'm ready.
Okay, I'm gonna go ahead and load up guns only at about 8,000 liters of fuel.
Okay, I'm in the loading room.
We're gonna load day, launch. Whenever you are ready, go ahead and flip on your helmet.
Yeah, helmet is... Okay, so I'll have to go launch?
Yeah, so you'll first load into the loadout screen for your plane, and then once you get the loadout in, just go guns only, so it's just your gun on there, and then do about like 8,000 liters of fuel.
Yep. Okay, I'm get rid of everything. Guns only. I'll do symmetry, that will be easier.
Yeah, just do symmetry and then detach everything.
Yeah, okay, RT. Okay, guns only, yep.
Yep.
And launch. Daytime?
Yep. Yeah, launch, daytime.
Okay. Launching.
And then go ahead and flip on your helmet as soon as you're seated. Alright, yeah. I'm going to flip mine on. So I'll load in first, and then you'll load in right after I fully load in the map.
Okay. And we take off, I take up as wingman?
Yep, so as soon as you load in, let me know.
Yep. And then just give me headings and angels, and then we'll take it from there. Oh, I'm back in a reload mission. I'm in the hangar. I can see my plane. Yep. I'm facing my plane with the. Okay, so I'm in the Vulcan. So return to aircraft.
Go ahead and return to aircraft. Yep, because you should have a guns loadout. Okay. Do you see guns on there? Okay, so with the guns loadout, just go ahead and do that. And I can actually. I saw your hangar opening up, so that's good.
Right. I can't see you, but you must be in the other hangar.
I'm just outside of the hangar.
Right. So I'll do a startup?
Yep. Do a startup sequence.
Okay, starting up. Closing canopy. Turning on MFDs. 1 F, 1 TPG. Starting up engine 2. Starting up engine 1. HMCS and HUD is on. Radar is on. And fuel status is on. APU is off. And I'm ready to roll.
Go ahead and flip off the G limiter as well. You can keep the master flight assist on, but just go ahead and flip off the G limiter.
The G limiter, okay, let me see where it is.
So just left of your throttle.
Yeah.
Perfect.
Turning on my lights. And I'm ready to roll.
Go ahead and roll out whenever you are available. Come to the airway, or the airstrip, I'm sorry. I am actually on the airstrip right now. I'm going to center line.
I'm rolling. Yeah, I can see you there. I'll come your way.
Yep, I see you.
This is so cool.
Isn't it?
Oh, yeah. Lucky I don't have a day job.
I think there's a way to actually target you and, like, show you on my screen.
Alright. Oh, you're facing that way, I see.
Yeah, I'm facing the runway.
Behind you. Yeah, I'm coming behind you. I managed to do a few aircraft carrier landings previously.
Oh wait, is that what you're trying to do right now? Carrier landings?
No, that's just practicing, you know, before.
Oh, okay.
When I was flying solo, yeah. Because I figured that's the hardest part, so I learned that first, you know?
Yeah, carriers are definitely hard.
If you can do a good carrier landing, then the runway should be no problem. Okay, I'm on your right-hand side.
Alright, go ahead and come up a little bit closer.
A bit closer, yeah. Okay, coming up.
Go ahead and stop. Perfect.
Stop.
Go ahead and flip off your landing lights.
Landing lights are off.
Perfect, I just saw it flip off. Okay, so apply full brake on your left throttle.
Yep.
Turn off brake lock.
Yep.
And then go ahead and go to 100% mil-spec power. That means no afterburner, but you're at the threshold.
Yep.
We're going to release on my mark. 3, 2, 1, mark.
Released.
Perfect. We're going to go ahead and rotate to 10 degrees nose at 150 knots.
Okie dokie.
So that's going to be rotate right about now. You should be up. Landing gear up, flaps to 0.
Flaps and gear up. Oh, I'm drifting a bit.
Don't worry about it, that's okay. We're not going to try to formation fly right now, I just want to get you up in the air and, you know, make sure that you can go at pretty much the same time as everyone else. So you're up and good.
I can see on my
right wing
nav screen, so I just follow you.
I should be on your right wing.
Oh, you're on my right, but you're in front of me, right?
Yep. Directly to the front of you, over on the right hand side.
Yeah, you were just a bit below me. So I'll come to your right hand side and try to stay there.
Yeah, we're gonna go ahead and level off at about 4,000 feet.
Okay.
So right about here.
Yeah.
So you're just a little bit above me right now?
Yeah, I'm coming down to 4,000.
Perfect.
Right.
Okay, well you have takeoffs just fine. So what are the things that you're... Whoop. What are the things... Go ahead and throttle down to about 50%.
I'm drifting a bit away from you, so I'll just come a bit closer. And I'm also losing a bit of altitude, so I'll pick that up. Well, everything basically with weapon systems. I mean, I understand the IR missile, I understand the radar missile, but to put them all together in a fighting sequence, that's the hard part, I suppose.
So is it about the theory, or is it actually about the practice? Because if that's the case, we should get some IR missiles and kind of go over it.
Yeah, we could do that. I'm just following you around now. You're turning, right?
Yeah, I'm banking. Let's just go ahead and follow each other around. So,
okay, yeah.
I mean, I guess my real question is...
all the weapon systems, basically. I get confused sometimes which weapon goes with which system. I haven't done much air-to-air launching. I saw the video this morning, so that I've learned a lot from that on the RT. I didn't realize you had to actually aim for the little bullseye rather than the target.
Okay,
when you
well
do
in that case, let's go ahead and actually pull in for a landing then. Just don't run into me. So we'll go actually and pull up some IR weapons really quick. So we'll put on some ARSTs, we'll put on some AIM-9s, and we'll put on some AIM-120s, and I'll just go through those. Those are just the air-to-air. We'll just go over those right now. So just go ahead and bank left and get ready to land on a runway. I don't care which runway you land on.
Alright.
I'm just going idle power and basically nose to about 0, which puts me at pretty much right on the runway right now.
Okay.
So we'll just go over those. It'll be much easier if I can just talk you through them as you're switched on to them.
Right. When you're in a formation and you're both landing, who asks for landing, or do you both ask for landing permission?
So landing doesn't really work right now, like with comms or anything like that, so it doesn't work in multiplayer. So at this point, just go ahead and land. You're in front of me, so you're the one who's taking lead. If you happen to wave off, then I'll go in and land, and then you come back behind me. It's just as simple as that.
Alright. Because in single player, I just use the voice command.
Yeah,
ATC.
right. In single player, ATC works. In multiplayer, it does not at this point. So since you're in front, you're the one who's taking point.
And with voice, it's so much easier to do than having to fiddle with all the buttons, you know.
Okay, so I literally just replaced my right touch controller's battery, right? And it just gave me a critical error that is low.
Yeah, and I hung up. I'm hanging in the middle of the. Oh, okay. So it must have been the internet. Yeah, it must have been the internet just hanging. Okay, I'm coming in for landing. I don't know how good this is gonna be.
Oh, don't worry about it. It doesn't have to be good looking. We'll worry about that later.
Yeah, looking good so far.
Oh, my right controller is completely dead. It's gonna be a crash landing.
You must have these rechargeable batteries that I use.
I do, sometimes rechargeable batteries.
Yeah, sometimes they're good and sometimes I just... Oh, I'm overshooting a bit. Come on, go down. I won't make it. Now I have to do a wave off. Didn't make it. I was too far down the runway. So you just land and I'll come around and try again.
You know what? I landed. I'm gonna go ahead and take it while I replace my my battery again. You go ahead and land.
Okay, if I can. What's your landing speed so that you don't crash? 170, 160?
Sorry to interject here, but from what I've found, if you're basically completely empty,
yeah, like now.
Yeah, if you're basically completely empty and you're on 2 flaps, then with a 15-degree angle of attack, you can maintain 110 knots.
Okay.
But more realistically, you'd probably want to go around like 150 or so.
Realistically, is anywhere from 150 to 180. Yeah. I came in and landed about 180. I kind of smacked a little bit, but I was also not able to adjust at all whatsoever on my glide slope.
Does any of the return to base and fuel work on the multiplayer?
It should. Yeah, it should. Okay. It should return you to your closest base, which should be that airfield.
Right, yeah, I just pressed it and no waypoint came up. That's why I was asking.
You're in the nav? And it didn't come up at all?
Yeah. Huh. Yeah.
I'd love to test that out, but I'm currently...
Try pressing it again. Let me see. So you click RTB, right?
Yeah, see what you can see, because it should show him the base.
No, nothing. Not
nothing.
Well, weird.
It should be working, but we'll have to look into that after the fact.
Okay. Well, that's a good thing, then this way we also work out any bugs or anything. So my speed is about 170, 180. I'm 1100 feet up, and I can see the runway clear, so I just hold this heading for now.
So go ahead and drop speed to idle. You're close enough.
Idle. 230.
I'd bear a little further right and...
Yep. Yeah, with it being a runway, you should be able to come in directly on it. Your flight display should be directly on the runway.
Yeah, it is.
You should be able to actually see your flight plane directly on the black marks on the runway, because that'll be right where you land if you don't touch anything else. Yeah. Alright, one sec, putting my headset back on.
Yeah.
Speed is 155. Throttle idle, yeah. Landing. And I made it.
Hey, hey, hey. Good job, bud.
Go back to the hangar?
Yeah. If you hit, so go ahead and hit home, hit comms, hit, ground request rearm, and it'll give you it should give you a waypoint to actually go to.
Right, and can I, okay, so I'll go...
It should, although it didn't for me, goddammit.
Comms, ground, request rearming station, I can't see any waypoint.
Yeah, I don't see a waypoint either, so that's fine, just go ahead and head into one of the bigger hangars.
Any hangar, yep.
One of the bigger metal hangars, not
Yeah, not the smaller ones, but the bigger ones. You actually came out of one when we were first getting started.
Right. A bigger one. Next to the helipad. Oh! Turning too stiffly. Yeah. This one here?
So, not this one here, but actually, so it looks like you're facing me. Are you facing me?
Yeah, I'm facing you, yep.
Go ahead and do a 180.
Okay.
Believe it or not, I'm doing a camcorder on you right now.
Oh, and go to one of the metal ones, not the tent ones?
Yeah, exactly.
Okay. Right.
This is awesome. I've got you spectator cammed on my camcorder right now.
Oh, cool. But they look closed, these metal ones.
They open when you get close to them.
Oh, okay. That's why I never went near them. Because they look closed. I love the video of the tunnel run.
Oh yeah, that's a lot of fun to do.
Yeah, but that's so cool. I will wait a while before I try that one.
What's the shortest possible Cobra takeoff distance?
Ooh, that's a good question. I haven't tested that.
Yeah. I'm personally trying to test what's the shortest possible Cobra landing distance by attempting to land on the helipad on the oil rig in an FA-26, but that hasn't worked out very well so far.
You're trying to Cobra onto a helipad. I'm pretty sure I've seen you in the Discord trying to attempt that.
Yeah, I've been...
If you do, I'll give you whatever call sign you want. Frankly. I'll make sure it happens. I've got the in with Guanti.
Okay, I'm on station.
Alright, as soon as you're on station, brake lock, and then proceed to shut down both engines and make sure your master arm is off, then request rearm via ground crew.
Okay, master arm off.
Yeah, you look good. Oh, you just turned it on, I think.
Ground crew's on station.
Oh.
Yeah, you just turned it on.
Okay, yeah.
No, you good.
Okay.
Brake lock, engine 1 and 2 off, request rearm. Perfect.
Yep.
Okay, so we're going to go ahead and do... So leave your external fuel right, center, and left alone. Go ahead and symmetry plus on. E10, we're going to go ahead and do aim 120s times 1, equip.
Yep.
E9, we're going to do aim 120s times 1, equip.
Yep.
E8, we're going to do aim 9s, equip.
One second, if I may interject. Sorry, you're just re-equipping the same thing on the same pylon. You have to equip it and then go back, click on the next pylon. Then.
Oh, I apologize. Thank you. I can't see him from here.
So he has he has an aim 9 on E10.
Aim 9 on E10 is perfectly fine. So aim 9's on E10. You've got. Does he have symmetry on?
Yes.
Yep.
Symmetry on. Aim 9's on E10. E9. Go ahead and put those on aim 120s.
E9, yeah. Yep.
Aim 120s and then hit the back button. Hit E8.
Oh, sorry. These aim 120 went on E2.
Yeah, those are symmetrical to E10 and E9. As long as it's
okay, right.
Symmetry means it goes on left and right wing. Yep.
Okay.
So we're just going to do basically the E8. That's going to be your aim 9s.
Aim 9.
So you've got aim 9s on E10. So for E7, we're going to go ahead and do aim 120s.
Aim 120s. Yep. Done.
And then for E6, we're going to do... we'll just do aim 120s as well. We're just going to give you a bunch of radar.
Okay.
Make sure your CFT is actually... Go ahead and detach your CFT if you have one. That'll make us much, much lighter.
What's an EFT?
External fuel? So CFT, so top right corner you see EXT sensor, and then CFT is just to the left of that. It's going to be E15.
Oh, yeah. No, I have nothing.
Okay, perfect.
None.
And then EXT sensor, make sure that says TJP1.
Yeah, it is.
So I
Fuel
would
full.
actually recommend, I don't know if you've done this yet, but I would actually recommend hitting the save/load button, hit save new, and then I would type in something like air-to-air or something like that.
Okay, yeah.
Or maybe radar or something like that, since you've got mostly radar missiles on.
Oh, shit, I just loaded up an old one.
That's okay.
Okay, delete. Back. Now I have to go
Let me actually take a
aim 9. So I went back to E10 has only got aim 9. E9 has what?
Aim
120s?
Yep.
Okay, E8 has...
Aim 120s?
Two aim 9s total? Or?
Yeah, I'm only really teaching him the system, so he can have whatever layout he wants. Aim 120s. We're just gonna do a full. Yeah. We're just gonna do a full BFR.
Okay.
BFR
Save.
Loadout. So go ahead and do save new.
Yeah.
And then I would just do maybe type in radar missiles.
Okay.
Because it's not really. I mean, it is an AA thing, but it's more like radar specifically.
Okay. Done. Yeah.
So you've got that saved. So go ahead and hit back. Hit repair, since for some reason you have repair costs. Bottom right-hand corner.
Yeah.
Repair.
And full fuel?
Yeah, we can do full fuel. That's fine.
Okay, done.
All I'm
full
saying
fuel.
Is it's not a true anti-air loadout unless you have at least 15 missiles.
Well, that's why I put him on. That's why I told him to save it as radar. And then go ahead and hit return to aircraft.
Good hunting, sir.
And then we're gonna do a normal startup procedure.
Yep.
Would you say that the weight of the targeting pod is significant in comparison to other stuff? Like, could it impact my flight performance if I had a targeting pod versus not having a targeting pod?
No. It's only going to affect your performance in extreme gun situations.
Okay, I'm ready to roll.
I see you.
Because I'm thinking maybe if I don't take a targeting pod with me when I'm trying to land, I can maybe pull a constant 20 angle of attack glide.
Well, I mean, okay, so what's the weight of the TGP?
Probably not. It's like 200 kilograms or something.
That's statistically insignificant to the lift of an aircraft. Even at a 20 AOA.
Yeah.
I'm just following you to the runway.
Yep, I'm gonna go ahead and go center line. Actually, you know what? I'm gonna go right lane. You're gonna go center line ahead of me.
Okay.
Yeah, once you've hit the magical number of 1.5 GWR, beautiful things start happening.
I'll just pass you when you stop.
Yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and stop here on basically the landing lines, and then you're gonna go up to basically the oh my god, I can't remember what it's called. The white bars on the side. I can't remember what they're called right now.
Okay, I'm in the middle at the moment.
Yep. Just keep on trucking. I'm gonna go ahead and stop right here. Alright, man.
And
we'll talk to you later.
I'm just passing you. How far?
Go ahead and stop right there.
Okay, stop.
Okay, so the very first thing you ever want to do if you're with a buddy, you're going to be flaps 1 for 1, so I can see that your flaps are down.
Yep.
And then go ahead and move your controls all the way around. I want to check them to make sure they're all good.
Okay. Ailerons.
flight controls are responding. Go ahead and look over your right-hand shoulder so I can do my own check.
Yeah, looking. Okay, so far so good. Yep, everything's working.
Perfect.
You're good.
Okay. Hands on brake.
Yep.
Brake lock off.
Yep.
Full brake, mil-spec power.
Yep.
We're going to release on your mark.
3, 2, 1, mark.
So you're going to begin your rotation about a 150.
Roger. Gears up, flaps up.
Gears up, flaps up.
Going to 4,000.
Excellent. Climb at 20 degrees wing.
Yep.
Full mil-spec power.
Yep.
Looks like your ascent is way higher than 20 degrees.
I'm spot on 20. According to my ladder, I'm going down to 4,000 now. Okay, at 4,000.
10-4 at 4,000 just above you. Let me go ahead and correct real quick.
Do I need to set up any radars or anything? Targeting systems?
Yeah, so go ahead and throttle back to about 50%.
50%?
That'll keep us at about the 300, 400 knots mark. So go ahead and master arm on.
Master arm on.
I'm going to switch to radar. We have a lot of radar on us right now.
Radar,
so the first thing I'm
off.
going to do... Yeah, radar off is fine. So the first thing I'm going to do, go ahead and go to home on whichever screen you want, and then hit equip.
Yep. Yep.
We're going to hit any one of your AIM-120s. As you notice, they are blank. There's nothing there except for arm, jettison, and back button, right? Nothing important there. Let's go ahead and go over the important ones.
AIM-120 you said? It says Advanced Radar Missile.
Yeah, when you go into the AIM-120s, there's no options, right?
Nothing.
So the AIM-120, the only important stuff for switching to that is going to be on your radar screen. We're not going to worry about that right now. Go ahead and hit the back button, return to equip, then hit your AIM-9s, wherever those are at.
Yep.
This is where it gets interesting. So first of all, let's hit heading and altimeter on your autopilot so we don't have to worry about that. And reduce to like 20% throttle.
20%.
Okay, so now we don't have to worry about that at all. We won't crash, nothing will happen. So you're in your AIM-9 sidewinders, right?
Yes. Seek mode is head track and trigger on cage is on.
Perfect. Those are actually the really good ones. Do you know what trigger on cage does?
No.
Okay, so go ahead and switch over to your AIM-9s.
Yeah.
It's harder for you to see this because I'm behind you, but basically, if I grab my stick, I'm looking at you right now. If I pull my trigger, I've essentially locked onto you. Right. But I won't fire because I'm only locked onto you. The trigger on cage means that it'll keep you locked even if I kind of give you a little bit more leeway. I can actually look around a little bit more, not too much more.
Right.
But then I won't actually fire until I hit my switch gun button. That's when I'll actually fire at you. It won't switch the guns, but it'll actually fire at you. I'm not going to do that, of course, because there's no reason to. So trigger on cage is useful for... It's actually apparently more useful for ground, but I haven't even done that yet. It allows you to, like, kind of... It allows you to dial in somebody on a lag time, so you can actually sort of get in their vicinity, not really get a full lock on them, launch the missile, and then kind of change it mid-flight, and that's when it'll give you the good lock. I personally like them on the ARS-Ts because they can give me a much easier lock on while I'm aiming at somebody. I trigger them, I look at somebody, hold the trigger, hit the lock button, look at them, they're fired on, and then as soon as I look at somebody else, I can fire on them. Boom, boom. Of course, we only have 2 missiles, so we don't have a whole lot of sidewinder action going on.
No.
So honestly, since you have them in head track, you've already obviously looked through the secret mode a little bit, so there's not really a whole lot I'm going to need to tell you about this weapon system, because that's pretty much it. you've got...
Okay.
Let's just hit seek mode really quick. You've got caged, so that's going to be just dead on. It's almost directly where your nose is, but it's a little bit below. It's not going to do anything special, right?
And what's the distance you can fire at?
Distance for AIM-9s, I want to say, is like inside of 2 miles. It's not very large.
Okay.
It's not a large reach. I mean, you'll get, so if you notice, actually, let me get in front of you really quick. Because what I want to do is I want to show you, if you have me locked, just stay on your heading, stay on everything like that, I'll just get in front of you. So...
You have to go to the radar screen?
No, don't worry about it. I'm just going to get right up on you. I'm going to get right in front of you. Ooh, that's a little too fast. Oh!
I have no visuals on you at all. Oh, there you are. Yeah. Okay, it starts really singing to me when I lock onto you. But you're way below me.
So, don't worry about that. You're on head track still, right?
Yep.
And so you're looking at me. Yeah, so you're looking at me. It said shoot, and then if you look in your top right and top left, you'll actually see the little orange buttons.
Yep.
Yeah, those means, and then if you look, so if you've got me tracked, you'll actually see in your HUD on the right-hand side, right next to your altitude indicator, you'll actually see a set of lines, and the lines will have like an outside range basically on the first half, and then the second half towards the bottom is going to be that's going to be basically your dead fire range. You're not going to get any better than that. So what you want to do is, if you can, especially with IR missiles, you're going to wait until they're within the lower box. That's where you're going to fire, because that's when they have almost no time to react. They're going to be able to outmaneuver them, most likely, and you're almost for sure going to get a hit.
Okay.
Got it. So that's honestly, there's not much more I can tell you about them. That's pretty much it. Right. So if the quick things we can go through real quick are, cage is going to be really simple. Are you still in your equip menu?
Yep. I'm still on there.
So hit your... Oh, shit. I gripped my throttle. So go over to cage, go over to vertical scan.
Vertical scan, yeah.
You can actually see what it's doing. You can see exactly what it's doing. So the whole point is basically, if you're... Let's say you're in a turn-in dogfight with somebody. You're at close range. You're trying to beat them. You're far enough away where you're not going to guns them. Vertical scan is going to be perfect for you, because as soon as you turn in towards them, what it's going to do is, as you can see, it's going up above your nose. So if they're getting a little bit more power on you, you're going to be able to take them, log onto them, and then it's going to be able to lock on. You can do this with or without trig on cage. It doesn't really matter. I would probably recommend trig on cage for everything you're going to do with ARSTs and AIM-9s, just for ease of use, so that you can actually switch to the seek modes if you need to. You're not always going to do this. If you keep it on head track literally 100% of the time, it's perfectly fine. Go ahead and switch over to the next switch mode. That's going to be head track, and then cage.
Stall warning. I'm getting a stall warning.
Go ahead to like 50%.
Yeah, I'll just speed up a little bit, yeah. Okay. So, mostly trigger uncage on, and mostly seek mode head track on, for both AIM-9s and Sidewinders.
That's what I would use. Yeah, I usually use head track and trigger uncage.
And vertical scan in a high speed turn.
If you can switch to it, if you don't, it's perfectly fine, because it's still going to track you. As long as you have your head visor on, you're still going to be able to see them up to, I think it's a 280 degree scan. Don't quote me on that though. I'd have to actually look at the diagrams.
Right.
But it's a big scan.
And the trigger uncage off, is there any advantage there? Never.
So the trigger uncage off, all that means is as soon as you've got them on head track, all you're going to do is you're going to pull the trigger and it's going to fire at them, which is good. It's good. It's good either way. Honestly, if you do either one, it really doesn't matter all that much. The most use is going to actually be with your air-to-ground missiles. That's where it's going to be most effective.
Right.
But I personally just use trigger uncage. It's just a personal thing. Honestly, as you screw with them a little bit more, you'll figure out what's useful. So let's go ahead and switch over to your AIM-120s.
AIM on 20. Yep. Radar missile.
Okay, so flip on your radar in the middle, and it's actually perfect because I'm in front of you, so you'll be able to see me really well.
Yeah, I'll flip it on. Radar
go ahead and
on. Yeah.
Yep. So go ahead and SOI on that screen. You'll be able to see a blue, plane essentially. Go ahead and flip your joystick over to it. Lock on to me. Whoop. So I accidentally got the stick.
My joystick won't move the cursor, the double bar over to you.
Did you SOI it? So top right is SOI?
Yeah, SOI.
Yep, there you go.
Yep,
okay.
Got it.
So go ahead and hover it over on me. You should be able to double click, or if you click once, then you click like the one in the left side, track 1, that'll be, you know, me. It gives you, on the right hand side, it'll give you information, it'll give you heading, range, and then altitude. I can actually hear the tracking on me, because you're close enough.
Okay.
So I'm sure it's telling you to shoot, because I'm right there. You can, in radar, you can actually have 4 targets locked at the same time. What it'll do is if you basically move off of me and there was another one in the scanning range, you can actually click on them and then they'll show up as number 2. If you click on another one, it'll show up as number 3. If you click on another one, it'll show up as number 4. And then in the left side of the MFD, you can actually hit on track 1, 2, 3, 4 and it'll lock onto them so long as they're still within your radar's tracking range.
Right.
In the bottom right corner of your MFD, you can change your scan angle, 60 degrees, 30 degrees, and 15 degrees. Obviously 15 degrees is going to be your most obvious angle.
Yep.
In the right side, you're going to have your range up and down. Your maximum range is going to be 32 miles, all the way down to 1.5 miles, up to 3 miles as your, max range that you can see when you're doing it like that. So if you do 3 miles at 15 degree scan angle, you're going to see everything that's directly in front of you, right?
Right.
The next thing you can do...
at the moment, so now I'm on 15.
Yeah, I'd recommend usually I would recommend staying at 32 when you're doing like a broad scan. Go ahead and flip off, you don't have to flip off your radar, but you can see in your mode, directly below range minus, it's going to flip over and you'll see bore sight. You'll see that also changes the HUD on your screen.
Let me see, equipment.
No, not in equipment, in radar. In radar, right below range minus is mode. Toggle mode.
Mode, yeah. Okay, yeah, bore sight, yeah.
So toggle mode. Bore sight, look at your HUD again. You see that your HUD is completely different.
Yep, big
now
round circle.
Now what that means, go ahead and... Where the hell are you at? So I see you right behind me on your left-hand side. Go ahead and swoop down as though you're going to guns me while you're in bore sight mode. You'll see what it does.
I can't see you at the moment.
Turn left, bank left.
Okay, yeah, there you are. Oh yeah.
Do you see what it does on bore sight? So on bore sight, what it does is it actually makes it so that you can actually fire your non-IR missiles in a gun's range. If you'll notice, you're going to be your chevron on the right-hand side is going to be way inside because you're super close to me. There's a possibility of explosive damage if you actually were to fire at this height, but it gives you the ability to, I'm losing this gunfight, I need to turn on him, he's really good at me, switch over to bore sight, I'm going to fire 2 missiles off, and hopefully they get him while he's maneuvering.
Right.
If not, you can always just hit the bore sight on him, it gives you a good lock, and then when you're on your guns, you actually get a better lock on him because the guns will know exactly where they want to aim now. It'll give you your proper lead time. Go ahead and switch off your radar because that's really, really loud and annoying.
Radar off. Did it turn it off for you?
Yeah.
Okay.
So when you turn it off, you'll no longer be locking on to me. You've got everything you need. I actually switched mine off too, but it doesn't really matter. I could have also turned my RWR to mute. Do you know what RWR is? That's your radar warning receiver?
Yep.
So
it's got
on...
a mute button somewhere.
Yeah, exactly. So on, you're going to hear as soon as somebody locks onto you, if you're behind me, friendly or not, if somebody locks onto you, you're going to hear it, especially when you're that close, you're going to hear it. It's going to basically ping my system. If I turn that to mute, it'll still be detecting that you're locking me, but I'm not going to hear anything. It'll just stop the audible sound. And And then of course if I turn it to off, you can actually see in your RWR screen on the top left here of your mini MFD left, you actually won't see anything. If you change it back to mute again, you'll be able to see the rings, and then if you locked onto somebody, if you turn your radar back on, I'll be able to see you again, but I just won't hear you this time.
Right.
So, unless you're doing a training, I would recommend always keeping it on. If you're ever expecting a gunfight, always keep that on. If you're doing a training, turn it to mute, that way you don't have to deal with listening to that. That's pretty much it that's on there. That's air-to-air. I mean,
I'm
there's
just
not...
looking for the mute button and on the radar warning.
Autopilot disengaged.
So, I'm gonna go ahead and make it left bank here. Radar warning, so, do you see your altimeter? Top left. Right in the center of your screens. Altimeter is your top left?
Yeah.
So, altimeter is top left. Center middle is going to be your, oh my god, oh man, I can't remember anything. Bottom middle is going to be your course heading indicator, northeast, west, south. Right? And then just to the left of that, you see RWR on mute and off.
No, I'm looking in my HUD.
Not in your HUD. So this isn't in your HUD. This is going to be in your...
Yeah, radar warning, on, mute and off. Okay, just below the radar button.
Yep, they're little toggles, yep. So that's going to be your on, mute, and off. That's where you're going to change that so that it becomes whether or not, you know, if you're training somebody, they've got you locked, you're trying to tell them what to do. Having that on is really goddamn annoying. But other than that, I would recommend keeping it always on. Your radar, however, is very, very, very important, because if you have your radar on, then you're going to be noticeable by everyone else who is looking for radar signatures. So SAM sites, enemy aircraft, if you have your radar on, they're going to see you, and you're going to see them. So while that could be good, if you're trying to do a night mission or something like that, have your radar on at the last possible second. If you're not trying to do a night mission, if it's a daytime mission, you want everyone to see you, you want everyone to get blown up by you, have your radar on, because as soon as you see them, as soon as they get to within, I believe, 15 miles, which is well BVR, beyond visual range, but well within your AMRAAM's position, you're going to go ahead and shoot them down. And they may or may not even get a lock onto you before they know what's going on.
I can't see you anymore on the radar.
Oh, that's because I'm behind you.
Okay. Well, in that case, I can turn it off. Now, if I have my RWR on, does that emit any signals to the enemy?
No, your RWR doesn't emit anything.
Okay. So that can always stay on. That's a passive
passive. Yep.
Okay. So until I get into enemy territory or where I know to be targets, I should keep my radar off. So that right.
Yep.
Did you say on or off?
Off. Radar off.
Off, yeah.
I mean, if you're doing a daytime mission, they're going to see you anyways, you might as well just keep it on. You could always keep it off if you know that if you're always going to be really far away, you can keep it off, because then they won't see you for a while. And then turn it on at kind of the last second if you have a general idea of where they're at.
Right. So it's sort of at the same time that you do your master arm on.
Yeah, I mean, I usually...
When you get ready to fight,
depending on the mission, I usually actually turn my radar on almost as soon as I take off.
Okay.
That's just a personal thing, though. Technically, you're not supposed to do that until you're, like, in the AO, but I don't really care about technically.
Right.
So I'm actually just off your left wing. We are 101 nautical miles away from our landing, so we're going to go ahead and pull the chute here. You ready to eject?
Okay.
Eject when ready? Because we're 101 away. It's going to take us years to get back.
Okay. Ejecting.
Yep, I saw you eject, and then just don't touch anything, because then we'll automatically respawn in, like, I think it's under 10 seconds or so.
Okay.
Hopefully. Unless, okay, I've ejected.
I'm back.
Perfect. Okay, so I am actually going to head out. I can't really do much more than air-to-air right now.
Okay.
Do you have any other questions that I can quickly answer for you?
No, none at all. I'm just going to practice what I've learned today with the air-to-air, and let me know when you're available, and I'm going to have some breakfast.
So you have some quick, easy missions you can go over. Hold on, give me 1 second. Let me return to aircraft so that I can go ahead and. Hold on 1 second.
Yep.
Exit. So I'm gonna go ahead and exit the game real quickly. I just wanna point this out. So you've got target practice inside of the quick flights. Target practice is a pretty good one. It has both ground and air targets. They don't shoot back, but I mean, if you want to learn more about locking onto them, getting close to them, firing from far away, the difference between air and ground, air to air, what they look like on your RWR but don't shoot at you, stuff like that. It's actually really good practice.
The trouble I had with target practice that the tanks are hidden behind the buildings, and I've just got great trouble to get a lock on with my targeting pod.
Ah, so we can actually work on that.